Shabbat Shalom, L'chaim, L'chaim. This week's Torah portion is Pekudei. It's usually combined with last week's Torah portion, which is Vayakel. But since it's not, it means that the last 3 weeks we've been speaking about the same thing in the Torah portion. Basically the Mishkan and all the vessels of the Mishkan and how much they weigh and what they're made of and all the different measurements of the Mishkan. It's very in detail again. And it forces you to ask the question, why would the Torah waste the ink of writing the same thing over and over again? You even see that the commentaries have very little to say on this week's Torah portion because they've said it all in the past weeks. So why waste the time? And I was sitting one day at work this week, and I was watching this video. It's a music video called Audio. And this video is basically showing like 3 different lives, but all being interconnected. And it kind of makes you think of like the whole butterfly effect thing, you know, where a butterfly flaps its wings on one way and there's a storm in the other side of the world because of it. And the reason that I felt it connected to the Torah portion is because you see just how much time and effort HaShem spends on all these minor details. How much the scoopers of the menorah in the temple weighed, and how big they were, and what they were made out of. All the different small details HaShem spends so much time focusing on. And I think the whole idea is to help us realize that He spends that much time and more on our lives. So you could just ask yourself, how did I end up where I am today? Any person that asks himself and really thinks about how they ended up where they are today will find it miraculous, because it is. All the different roads that you've taken specifically, all the different people you've encountered and experiences you've had are miraculous and all finely tuned specifically to you, to help you grow and realize that you are this Mishkan, you are this creation that HaShem has made, and He spends so much time caricaturing each detail of your life just so that you could one day realize that He's been here holding your hand this whole time. So I think, from my perspective, the whole idea of Pekudei, especially in an Ibur year when we have, the Vayaka and Pekudei are separated, it makes you just think about how HaShem cares about every detail in our life. He's the one constructing every detail in our life. And as soon as we can tap into this feeling and start recognizing that these details are not just coincidence, they're caricatured and, specific, then we'll become more aware of HaShem in our lives, and we'll actually appreciate what He's doing in our life and look for Him more in our life. Not just go through with our eyes glazed over as though these were another detail of another day. They may look like the same parsha of the last 3 weeks or the last 3 years, but the truth is that every detail is different each day, and it's specific to you. So B'ezrat Hashem, we shall all merit to have this in mind as we move through life, at least into the next week, to be able to look at all the details, everything that we see and everything we encounter, and realize that Hashem is putting it there for a reason, and He's just trying to interact with us. Shabbat Shalom.